It's great having your own washroom. As we get older, we look more like Dad. Bessie Michael, boy, he looked a lot like Dad. When he was young, he didn't.
You look like your mom.
Do I?
Yes, I think so.
Mom's too good looking. My name is Father Keon. I was born on May 18th, 1925 in Owen Sound, Ontario, Canada. Our mom was very kind to us, very gentle. She's very, very pretty. People used to remark her. I have two brothers and one sister. Howard and Michael, the brothers, are older than I, and Madeline is younger. Howard and Michael joined the Air Force, and I did too, through World War II. And Howard became a navigator. Michael became a flight engineer, it was called. And I became an air gunner in March of 1945. Two of my buddies, air gunners, said, "Are you going to the movie tonight?" And I said, "Is there a movie?" "Yes." I said, "What's it called?" And they had no idea. It was the Song of Bernadette. They had no idea. And they weren't Catholic lads. Wouldn't mean the same, but I saw it. And part way through, I said to myself, I know when I'm supposed to be. I want to do a job where I'm going to work with people and help people. And I was thinking of medicine. But I thought, boy, priests can do more than good than anybody else.
Oh, Father Keon.
I love Father Keon.
Father Keon is the coolest priest ever.
He's a storyteller.
He's just a really bright spirit. He's always got a smile. He always has a story to tell.
He's just everywhere. He knows everyone.
He actually takes a genuine interest in getting to know you.
He's always so joyful and so friendly and so outgoing.
I love Father Keon because he's so nice and joyful all the time.
He's just an amazing guy.
He creates an environment where people can laugh, can talk, can share, and experience the goodness that is in all of us.
I graduated from the University of Toronto in 1948, and I majored in philosophy. When I first came, there were 500 students, and we used to have breakfast and lunch with the students. All the priests did, and they enjoyed the priests. The priests would be at different tables, and the priests, some are very witty and humorous, and have the kids howling. They enjoyed their company. And I got to know so many students. I knew all my students, but I got to know so many other students because you meet them in the cafeteria.
Father Keon Day is an event that happens the first Wednesday of every month, in which students can invite any professor to have lunch with them at Crooker.
I wasn't teaching anymore, and I thought one thing I can do is have lunch with the students. They should have more faculty over there. So I started to have lunch, and as I had lunch longer, I got to enjoy it more.
Even whenever you're in a hurry and he sits down and he eats his tuna sandwich, like molasses sometimes, he's so slow, but it kind of gives you a chance to stop during your busy day when he has a busy day himself, and allows you to express your feelings, your emotions, and he ties in what his wisdom that he has about the world. For those who don't have that connection anymore with their grandparents, it's kind of nice to have that the elderly wisdom bestowed upon us.
He puts so much effort to learning every single student's name.
No matter how stressed out I am about school or worried about work or anything, I always see him and he makes me feel happy and just forget all my troubles.
You can always see him in the Crooker cafeteria. When he comes, he'll always tell great stories and make you laugh, so he's really hilarious. But then also, you can go to the Chapel of St. Basil and see him celebrating Mass.
They ask the priests if they want to say a Mass in the chapel. And he gives out sheets so we sign, and how many would you like to say, what days, and how many would I want to say. So I always mark down 3 or 4 anyway.
Father Keon is a good model of one who is very happy in his priesthood. Celebrates the Mass with great reverence, and for me, it's like a spiritual retreat every time.
A great homily he had one time. It was during a morning Mass, I believe, and the homily had something to do with never questioning God's actions. Whenever you pray for something, it doesn't happen. You should never think, oh no, God's not listening to me. Why do I keep praying for this? He's like, because there's this master plan that you do not understand, and so you shouldn't question it. You keep praying, and one day the answer will come to you, or the future will, behold itself. And he was telling a story about the time he was in the military and how he loved being a fighter pilot. And he said, you know, day after day, I went home and I just prayed to God that the war would never end, because I was just having an amazing time being a fighter pilot. You know, I loved it. There was nothing better. I never saw any future other than being a fighter pilot. And then the war ended, and I was so mad. I was like, God, why'd you let this war end? And he was like, but then I thought, I'm being selfish. There's people dying out there. And so, you got that in together. It's like, so next time you think, why didn't God answer my prayer? He's like, because people are dying out there.
It was the feast of the Archangel, so it was September 29th. He went on to talk about how angels, they're in heaven with God all the time, and all they do is they just adore God, but they're not bored at all. The whole homily, like every 2 minutes, he kept saying something that was just gut-bustingly funny.
He has a very active and vivid imagination.
I taught philosophy, and you got an A in 1965. And Darnell did very well too. You got a C minus, and it was quite good.
Father Keon has personal connections with a lot of residents. He likes to make up these fake stories about them.
With historical events, he was there, and then he places me there alongside him, whether it's World War I or World War II or at the 1935 World Series, and I'm pitching against Babe Ruth and he's behind the plate catching.
It could be like personal interactions about what happened in like the 1920s or something.
I met Father Keon fighting in World War I.
We both won the Summer Olympics in gymnastics. I got gold and he got silver.
So apparently my name was spread out throughout the land, and I was like the famed hero of the USA for shooting down the Red Baron.
In 1961, whenever he first started teaching, I was in his very first philosophy class and I made an A-, and I haven't made an A since.
We traveled all around the world together.
I was Prince of Canada.
He once told someone I spoke 5 languages and they really believed him.
He's a storyteller, and he helps create like community with those stories that he creates.
Father Keon, is there anything you want to add to your E True Hollywood story?
Yeah. Well, one thing I thought I was going to miss. I love playing ball. I love playing ball. And I thought, I'm going in the novitiate and I'll have no more ball in my life. Heck, I played so much ball. They're such good athletes. I didn't know the seminarians were such good athletes. I thought they're a bunch of wimps, you know. Oh boy, Dave Bauer and Ted McLean and Bill Conway, those guys, oh, they were good. Could they skate? They were fast, passed the puck so well. Well, they were good. And ball players, could they hit the ball? And they had good pitchers. Oh, they surprised me.
Running into him at like 9 or 10 p.m. at night, walking around the UST Academic Mall, and you're like, hey, Father Keon, and I'm like, oh, hey, Audrey, and then you're like, what are you doing? He goes, oh, you know, I'm just working out, and he'll wear like his red shorts, and then he had this white Rockets, like 1994 t-shirt. He was everywhere on campus. He would be in the middle of the night walking around campus doing his fitness exercise, and he would go to all the theatrical performances at the University of St. Thomas.
Well, if and when we both make it to heaven, I look forward to seeing him in heaven.
He really does bring the best out of people. He can sit down and talk to anybody, and you know, they'll open up to him, they'll talk to him, they'll remember who he is, and he'll remember who they are, and he knows them by the first name basis. He remembers the exact story he told them. And then, you know, he keeps adding on to it, or whatever. Like 1 week they went to Cairo, and the next, you know, they're in Italy.
We're going to Nigeria next summer. I'm in charge of packing everything. He's in charge of packing toothpaste. Yeah, should be fun.
He's still sharp, and he's still intentionally reaching out to others around him, which is something that I wish more people in general would do.
We're way better than they were.